Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak and Robert Paris, John Vias with the weather, Gretchen Carey with Community Calendar, and Liz Gillespie with sports. Thank you for joining us. Town of Burlington Veteran Service was once again able to hold their annual Memorial Day ceremony outdoors and mark 2 decades since the attacks of 9/11. BNEWS reporter Tad Stefanak was there and files this report.
The Town of Burlington Veteran Services annual Memorial Day ceremony returned to a traditional venue this year.
We're just happy to be back in the cemetery after last year doing this virtually. Happy that crowds came out.
The occasion also marked the upcoming anniversary of 9/11 and the ensuing war that followed.
20 years ago, the terrorist attacks that happened on September 11, 2001 not only shocked the United States, but the world.
We're commemorating the 20th anniversary of the attacks on New York City and the Pentagon in 9/11, particularly commemorating the 20th year anniversary of us being in Afghanistan, a country continuous at war for 20 years. So,
keynote speaker, Senior Master Sergeant Jeremy Brooks of the United States Air Force, served in Afghanistan following 9/11.
This is just one example of the bravery and strength of character I've been so fortunate and cursed to witness. Today I spoke about a few friends that I had lost in the global war on terrorism, specifically in Afghanistan. It was great to see the turnout here. Memorial Day is very important, and preserving the memory of these guys that are no longer with us, be it from any war the United States has been in, is really important.
Over 20,000 United States military members were injured or maimed on the battlefields of Afghanistan.
So I was in Afghanistan in 2009, 2010. I lost 3 Marines under my charge. So, talking about this, it's kind of a punch in the gut.
Many of those men and women will never fully recover from their wounds of loss of limbs, eyesight, and hearing.
It's great to see the young kids, especially the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and kids in high school, taking the time out of their day to do that and pay their respects.
We're just trying to do what we can to keep them in our memory and treating their sacrifice with dignity and respect.
From Chestnut Hill Cemetery, this is BNews.
In other holiday news, Selectman Mike Runyon and the 4th of July Committee are happy to announce that there will be a 4th of July parade this year. The procession will start at 11 a.m. and follow the traditional parade route from Cambridge Street to Wynn Street. Details are still being worked out, and we will report them as they become available, so stay tuned. Burlington police officer and U.S. Army veteran Jacob DeSantis, who previously marched 22 miles to raise funds, once again put on his boots. This time he marched, or rucked, carrying a backpack, for 24 hours around Varsity Field to support the Massachusetts Fallen Heroes organization. BNews Director Rich Hosford went to speak with him and files this report.
Burlington police officer Jacob DeSantis has done it again. DeSantis, an Army veteran, ruck-marched around the track at Burlington's Varsity Field for 24 hours straight over the entire course of Memorial Day to raise funds for the Massachusetts Fallen Heroes organization. This was a follow-up to last Veterans Day when he marched 22 miles from the Tewksbury Police Department to the Burlington Police Department and then on to the Massachusetts Fallen Heroes Memorial in Boston for the same organization. I caught up with him right after he completed the 24-hour ordeal and started by asking him how he felt.
I feel good now that it's over, but the physical part, I feel good that it's over, but the mental fight's still there. We still need to show recognition to those who came before us, and at the end of the day, that's what we did, and that's everyone who came out to support me and everyone who donated to the Massachusetts Fallen Heroes. That's the bigger picture right there.
DeSantis said that he supports the Massachusetts Fallen Heroes because they both support Gold Star families of fallen soldiers and work to provide help to veterans struggling with depression, PTSD, and other mental health conditions. This struggle, he said, is close to him.
I lost 2 very close friends in the military due to suicide, and on average, 22 veterans take their life a day, and what makes it so close to me is that I knew 2 of the 22. A lot of people get lost in Memorial Day and they think it's about cookouts and hanging out with friends, and by all means it is, but you need to wake up in the morning and end your day thinking about the people who gave that blood sacrifice for our country and for myself, who allowed me to come out here and ruck 24 hours. Without them, there would be no barbecues.
During his 24 hours on the track, DeSantis did have family, friends, fellow officers and veterans, and ordinary residents come out to support him. One admirer who was there until midnight was his proud mother.
I think Jake's way of thinking is this is nothing compared to what families and endure if, you know, their kids don't come home, fathers, brothers, sons, and, you know, I just think that he's always been the type of person to dedicate his strongness to something that needs support.
Finally, DeSantis said while rocking for a full day and night was an effort, he is more appreciative of everyone who made donations and the families and veterans they will support.
I've said it before, and I said the same thing when I did the 22 miles. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm kind of just like the pawn when it comes to the Massachusetts Fallen Heroes. They're an unbelievable organization, and I'll do this again and again for them. But at the end of the day, it's the people who donated, it's the people who shared, it's the people who have reached out to veterans due to this. So at the end of the day, I just walked. The people who need to be recognized are those who donated, the names that donated, and the families that's going to impact is just, it's beyond what you could think of.
Donations can still be made in the campaign for the Massachusetts Fallen Heroes, and a link can be found in the description of this video. From Varsity Field, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
The Massachusetts State Police will be out in Middlesex County this weekend to help ensure everyone is obeying drinking driving laws as the summer travel season begins. Colonel Christopher Mason, Superintendent of the Mass State Police, announced that a sobriety checkpoint will be implemented by the State Police on a public way in Middlesex County from Saturday, June 5th to Sunday, June 6th. Superintendent Mason said the purpose is to further educate the motoring public and strengthen the public's awareness to the need of detecting and removing those motorists who operate under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs from our roadways. The checkpoint will be operated during varied hours. The selection of vehicles will not be arbitrary, and safety will be assured, and any inconveniences to motorists will be minimized with advance notice to reduce fear and anxiety. The Burlington High School class of 2021 had a senior night under the stars event at Varsity Field. Due to the pandemic, it was the first gathering of the entire class during their senior year. BNews Director Rich Hosford has this report.
Varsity Field at Burlington High School was set up for a celebration on Tuesday evening. It was the senior night under the stars for the class of 2021, a chance for the graduating students to meet as a whole class and celebrate before the end of their high school careers. Due to COVID, it almost didn't happen, but thanks to a lessening of restrictions and a lot of hard work, organizers were able to pull it off.
It was a challenge this year. We didn't know what the guidelines were going to be, and we were very excited that on May 29th they loosened the guidelines a little bit, so we were able to have this event. It was unfortunate that we had to cancel their senior prom. Obviously, this isn't what everyone originally had wanted, but we worked really hard over the past maybe like 2 months or so putting this event together.
We're just super thankful we could pull something together no matter what, because the town really helped out and did everything it could with donations, so we're thankful.
Student class leaders were happy to have an event for their peers.
It's taken a lot of work to come to this point, but definitely the two of us and the whole class, it seems like there's a lot of excitement here tonight, and we're really excited to see where the night takes us. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just very excited that we were able to put on an event at all. It's not like something that we thought would happen, but I think that we pulled it together and it's going to be fun.
The faculty advisors said they are proud of the class of 2021 for the way they handled their senior year during a pandemic, and they are sad to see them go.
They've grown up so much. I mean, we saw them as freshmen and you watched them go through all 4 years, and it's so amazing to see how much they change over the 4 years, and I'm going to miss them. They are fantastic. I mean, if you could say one class was flexible and understanding, it was definitely this class. Every curveball that they got, they went with it and they did the best they could, so we couldn't be more thankful for our class.
This class advisor for the class of 2021 since their freshman year. It's a really ambitious, hardworking group of kids. They are so deserving of an event like this, and I'm really happy that we could have such beautiful weather and a beautiful night for them, because if anyone deserves it, it's them.
Finally, the students said they were excited to have one big party with the entire class.
Yeah, it's just really exciting. We're glad to finally able to gather because, it's been so separated this year with the cohorts because of COVID. So, yeah, we're just really excited to see everyone here tonight.
Yeah, well, like Sydney said, it's really exciting because this is one of the first points of the school year where we're gathering together as a class. So it seems like everyone's pretty excited to be here together with their friends and the whole school.
From Varsity Field, wishing all the best for the BHS class of 2021, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
Do you have sensitive documents with personal identity information that you want to get rid of? Don't throw them away. Identity thieves will often scour trash bags for personal information they can use to commit fraud. Burlington Town Clerk Amy Warfield will be running a resident paper shred day. The shredding will be held at the Town Hall back parking lot on Saturday, June 12th from 8 a.m. to noon or until the truck is full. The event is for Burlington residents only and ID will be required. Each resident is limited to 2 boxes. The boxes can be as big as you can carry. Amy asked that everyone remove all metal, including paper clips, binder clips, and metal rings before shredding. The Burlington Public Library, in cooperation with the Burlington Mall, has a new story walk book for June at the Village at the Burlington Mall. Never Let a Unicorn Wear a Tutu by Diane Alber is the story, the author. Library Director Michael Wicks said the staff is excited to continue their Storywork partnership with the Burlington Mall and hopes that patrons return to enjoy the beautiful late spring weather while reading the new storybook. Children who register for the kickoff will receive a bag of assorted treats. Gift bags will be available on Thursday, June 3rd from 3 to 4 p.m. near Cafe Nero at the Village at the Burlington Mall. The Storywalk project was created by Ann Ferguson of Montpelier, Vermont, and developed in a collaboration with the Kellogg Hubbard Library. The Storywalk project was adapted for use at the Village at the Burlington Mall by the Burlington Public Library with their partners, the Friends of the Burlington Public Library and Burlington Mall. Take in some local history and learn about Burlington's rich past. The Burlington Historical Commission is happy to announce that we can now open the museum to the public. A notice from the Commission states. The museum will be open to all on Saturday, June 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission to the museum is free. Donations, however, are appreciated but not necessary. The Burlington Historical Museum contains artifacts including antique farm equipment, vintage furniture, old tools, Native American artifacts, historical fashion, and more. Where are we? Okay, Master Gardener Peter Coppola helps get the gardening season started in his nursery bed for bulbs, flowers, and some currant he's planting with a special permission from the Commonwealth for the United States' upcoming semi-quicentennial in this edition of BNEWS Eye on Nature.
I know it's a long ways off, it's 5 years, but we will be celebrating the nation's 250th anniversary. And here in Burlington, the Historical Commission is going to try to reintroduce some plants that our ancestors grew back in Burlington in the 16 and 1700s. One of which is this currant. Now, currants went into disfavor over 100 years ago because some people linked diseases in pine trees to the currants. And our government kind of weighed the balance. So let's see, we need the pine trees for wood to build, wood to heat, and we just have the currants. Pine trees win, so currants were banned in the US for a long time. And it's only recently that they've been coming back, and Burlington is one of the few towns that authorizes you to grow it, but you still need to get a permit from the state to do so. That's what I did. We found some currants. We're going to get them in the ground. I've got them. I'm going to put them in my nursery bed, but when I got to my bed and I put the currants in, I don't have enough space. So I need to increase and clean up my nursery bed in order to get this plant in. But before I even do that, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about sharpening your tools. Do you ever wonder what farmers had all those pockets for? Well, one of them was to hold an 8-inch bastard file. And the reason for the file is so that you could put an edge on your blade so that it will cut through the grass, the root system in the grass. You want to do that with your shovel, and you want to do that with your edging tool. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is just dig in and shape the bed the way you want it. And then once you have that done, then all you really need to do is take this and flip it completely over and bury the grass. Do that for your entire planting bed, rake it out, and then top it off with some compost or cow manure before you plant. The grass will decompose underground You won't have anything to do with it. Okay, so now I have a spot to plant my currant. You can see the root system already spread throughout that nice potting soil. I'm just planting it so that when it's finished in the hole, this same level will be the soil level. After I backfill, press it down. One of the things I did notice is this long shoot coming out inside here. Right at the base is all this new growth. So what I'm going to do is just cut it right above this node here where there's some growth. And that's going to spread out and become a much fuller plant. So maybe you receive some spring bulbs, some maybe tulips for Easter, and you want to save them and hope to plant them next year. Well, that's where the nursery bed comes in again. So this was a pot of tulips. So I'm just going to set it there and just backfill the soil around it. The reason for that is that will keep the soil from drying out as a container, and I don't have to water it every day. I had daffodils coming up for 3 years after I just stuck them in the ground. Well, the same thing happened with these lilies. When I came to clean out the nursery bed yesterday, I found these little lilies growing up all by themselves. Lilies and daylilies are plants that you can transplant all year round. Regardless of where you plant the scales, as the plant grows, it will adjust the height of this in the soil to where it wants to be. So this is where the soil line is. So what I'm going to do again in my nursery bed is just take these and put them in here. And I'm going to leave them for the summer. I'll try to find a place in the yard to put them.
BNEWS weatherman Peter Brown is out this week, but our own John Vias is here with this week's forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Gretchen Carey to see what's happening in Burlington. And debuting for the first time, we have our new segment, the Social Media Minute, with Gabrielle Papili, aka Miss Burlington.
Hello and welcome to your BNEWS Weekly Weather Report. I'm John Vias filling in for Peter Brown, who is out this week. As we begin our period on Friday, we can expect a chance of showers and thunderstorms from the morning to late afternoon, with clouds likely to last the rest of the day. Temperatures will be comfortable with a high near 78. Now don't get used to moderate temperatures, because after Friday, it's going to heat up in a big way. Saturday will be mostly sunny with a high near 89 degrees. Now Sunday is when we're likely to top 90 degrees, with sunny skies and a high near 94. And Monday will be even warmer by a couple degrees, with a high near 96 and sunny skies all throughout the day. Tuesday will continue the trend of above 90-degree weather with a high of 94. And the temperatures will dip a bit on Wednesday, but it will still be quite warm with a high of 87 and mostly sunny skies. We'll end our period on Thursday with partly sunny skies and a bit of reprieve from the heat, as the high is expected to be around 77 degrees. So summer's definitely here in a big way. I'm John Vias saying, as Peter Brown always does, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey friends, I'm Gabrielle, also known as Miss Burlington MA. I'm here to share with you my posts and pictures from my own social media account and showcase the amazing businesses and things to do in and around Burlington.
Osteria Nino is the best Italian spot you will find outside the North End, in my opinion. Their Rome-inspired meals combined with their Sinatra-style interior makes for a perfect night out. It's definitely hard just to pick one dish, but their classic chicken parmesan absolutely makes the top of my list. Osteria Nino was my first post on this account, so it felt right to showcase them right away. They're a really fantastic restaurant, and I'm thankful they are part of the Burlington community.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. This author traced out his family history through the story of Southern and American food. On Thursday, June 10th at 7 p.m., the Burlington Public Library is having another virtual social justice series with Michael Twitty about his book, The Cooking Gene. Everyone is welcome, and pre-registration is required for this event. To register, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. It is time to shred. On Saturday, June 12th from 8 a.m. to noon, the town of Burlington will be having a shred day at the Town Hall back parking lot. The event is for Burlington residents only. For additional questions, call the clerk's office at 781-270-1660. Enjoy the great outdoors. On June 19th through 20th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department is having the Great American Campout. The event is for Burlington residents only, and pre-registration is required. To register, go to burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
The spring sports season is winding down, but the Red Devils continue to battle it out. For all the latest action, we go to BNews sports reporter Liz Gillespie for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie and this is your weekly sports report. A few teams finished up their regular season and some are waiting to play their final game. Girls tennis wrapped up the regular season this week against the Watertown Red Raiders. First, they went to Watertown on June 2nd where they won the match 5-0. Then, they hosted Watertown at Rahanis Park on June 3rd, where they finished the match 4-1. The girls finished the year with 9 wins and 1 loss. Now, their playoff journey begins in the Middlesex League 12 tourney. Boys tennis also faced Watertown twice during the week. They finished both of the matches with 5-0 wins over the Red Raiders. The Red Devils finished the year with 8 wins and 2 losses. They will start the ML12 tourney next week. Both outdoor track teams headed to Gordon College on Saturday, May 29th for the Massachusetts State Track Coaches Association State Relays. The girls finished 3rd at the relays, and the boys won the relays with 73 points. Congrats to both teams. Girls lacrosse had a home meet against the Melrose Red Raiders on Saturday, May 29th at Varsity Field. The Red Devils had a close match with the Red Raiders, but in the end, they won with a close score of 6-5. They then headed to Watertown on Memorial Day to see the Red Raiders. Burlington won the game with a 16-5 victory. The ladies moved to 9-0 on the season and will finish off the season against Watertown on Saturday, June 5th. Boys lacrosse hosted the Melrose Red Raiders on Saturday, May 29th at Varsity Field. The Red Devils only scored 2 goals and Melrose had 16. Then, the team hosted Watertown on Memorial Day and blew out their opponent by a score of 13-2. Burlington moves to 6-2 on the season and will see the Red Raiders again on Saturday, June 5th in Watertown. Red Devil baseball headed to Watertown on Memorial Day to take on the Red Raiders. The Red Devils finished the game in a shutout victory of 2-0. The team then had a home game against the Watertown Red Raiders on Wednesday, June 3rd at the Francis Wyman Elementary Field. The team was unsuccessful during the game as they had 0 runs. Melrose had 10. The final was 10-0 Red Raiders. Burlington drops to 2-7 and will be seeing the Red Raiders again on Saturday, June 5th in Watertown. Girls softball had 2 final games of the regular season against Melrose and Watertown Red Raiders. On June 2nd, they took on Melrose, where they had 11 runs, while the Red Raiders had 2. The team headed to Watertown on June 3rd, where they blew up the team big time. Burlington finished that game with a 27-1 win. Wow! They finished the year at 9-1 and will start the ML12 tourney next week. Boys wrestling headed to Woburn on June 1st to take on the Tanners. Burlington ended up defeating Woburn and improved to 5-2 on the season. Pins in the meet went to Joe Perna, Zach Soda, Jack Laverty, Adam L. Deeb, and Tim Badnice. The team headed to Arlington to take on the Spy Ponders on Friday, June 4th. Burlington Swimming had 2 meets against the Reading Rockets and Melrose Red Raiders on Saturday, May 29th at the North Suburban YMCA in Woburn. During the Reading match, the team lost by a score of 55-33, while in the Melrose match, they lost by 20 points. The final was 75-55. The team will virtually face the Belmont Marauders on Saturday, June 5th. It was a night of remembering and looking back during the BHS Athletic Awards. For more, we go to BNews sports reporter Robert Paris.
Hey everyone, I'm BNews sports reporter Robert Paris. We're down here at Burlington High School, more specifically the Fogelberg Auditorium, where the BHS Athletic Awards ceremony is going on right inside. Let's check it out and see what's going on. Inside of the Fogelberg Auditorium, senior athletes were given recognition for all their efforts they have made during their 4 years on the sport teams at BHS. BHS Athletic Director Sean Hart talked about the perspective of the athletes who have stepped up during this strange season.
And I think what people need to realize in this particular situation was what we get to see and what we saw. And I mean the coaches and myself, because they saw sides of you that they didn't get to see in a normal year. a normal 20 game, let's go practice, let's go do this, let's go do that. We did things this year as a group to care for one another well more than we ever did in the past. Before it was driving, getting out of the car, going to practice, doing our thing. This time we took the time to make sure the other person next to us was feeling okay.
A number of the athletes are going to reminisce their high school sport careers.
It was awesome. I was happy that everyone got to come here together, and we're all out here without masks on right now, so it was just, I think everyone getting recognized was really awesome for us tonight.
It was pretty good. It was good to get the whole grade together to actually have something for our senior year.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, especially me and Ryan both getting awards, growing up together, doing sports like together. It's cool to like get these awards together because we know we both work hard to the sports we love, and to get recognized for our hard work is awesome.
Great way to end our career in high school sports.
Coaches from a variety of teams had their thoughts on the evening.
You know, it's always a good night at the end of the year recognizing our kids for what they do. Our athletes do a great job representing us, you know, in competition, representing the town and all the things we stand for as a school. And this year's senior class did a really nice job. A lot of good kids. As it was spoken earlier tonight, a lot of adversity in the seasons. The athletic seasons weren't the same as we've had traditionally in the past. And the kids did a really good job of keeping it together, staying positive, and being competitive. And as you heard tonight, there was a lot of teams that did really, really well. It had good seasons.
I was just glad that we were able to have a night to celebrate the senior class. This is a group that has earned a lot of accolades athletically over their 4 years, and just being able to celebrate them both individually and as a whole was really important, and I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, just an awesome night to recognize the seniors in what was a strange senior athletic season. It's nice to get the athletes from all different sports together so they can kind of see what their peers have accomplished, and just an awesome night, always is.
Well, that was a fun time we had here at the Fogelberg Auditorium. From Burlington High School, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
For more Red Devil action, go to the BNews Sports section at bcattv.org and check out our Twitter page at BNews Sports. And that's all for your weekly sports report. I'm Liz Gillespie. Back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo is a sure sign of spring. It was sent in by 12-year-old resident Sadie Floyd and shows a clutch of robin eggs she found under the deck of her Olean Road home. Since taking the photos, the eggs have hatched into baby birds. As Sadie's mom, Kelly, says their neighborhood is alive with wildlife this year. Thanks for the photos, Sadie. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your spring activities, a family trip, or everyday moments, whatever you think is interesting and want to share with us here at BCAT and the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Okay, and that's it from the news desk here at BNews Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Rich Hosford, Tad Stefanak, John Vias, Liz Gillespie, Gretchen Carey. Thank you for joining us. Had a senior moment there just for a moment.